All right, Shalom. First off, we give all praises, honor, and glory unto Yahweh, Ahchyam, Yahweh Shai, Ahchyam Rakakwadash. Double honors unto the apostles of Great Millstone, their teacher and well. And as always, peace and salutations to the elect. All right, this is Brother Benaiah from the Great Millstone Dallas branch coming back at you with another lesson. And I'm going to title this lesson, Be Content and Thankful. All right, be content and thankful. All right, and this lesson was inspired from a conversation that I was having with a brother yesterday. As we was walking, went to the park and, got a couple of miles in and was just talking, about, current situations, you know what I'm saying, and how things are going up, you know, and how it's, it's getting tight, but it was just basically talking too, about, um, particular different ways that we can make a little extra money and things like that, to try to, to help us out in our everyday life, you know what I'm saying, which is nothing wrong with that, at all. For you brothers and sisters out there that, you got to do side gigs to try to get a little extra money. It's all good. There's nothing wrong with that. You know what I'm saying? But while we was talking about that, it came to my mind like, man, shit, really, you know what I'm saying? Yeah, that would help. All that would help. But shit, on the cool, on the real shit, I'm good right now. You know what I'm saying? Because I have, all right, everything that I need. You know what I'm saying? As far as the necessities, man. You see, the Lord, even now, the Lord is making provision for us, for you brothers and sisters out there. If you have a roof over your head, if you have a means to get your daily bread, if you have transportation to get to and fro, and I don't give a damn if it's a 1995 Dodge Neon, with the goddamn engine light on, man. You see, hey, be thankful, man. You know what I'm saying? And I'm speaking to myself first and foremost about being thankful and being content, man. Because like I said, even now, all right, the Lord is feeding us, man. And the scriptures talk about how my servants shall eat and my servants shall drink. Even now, it's happening, man. You see, the Lord is making provision. It's not by us, you know what I'm saying, that we eat and know. It's by the Lord. The Lord creates opportunities for us to have jobs, to have transportations, to have places to stay. You know what I'm saying? And it's not gonna stop. You know what I'm saying? Even when society collapses, it's not gonna stop. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? It's happening now, and the Lord is gonna continue to make provision for His elect, Lord willing. You know what I'm saying? I'm a part of that numbers, and you brothers and sisters are as well. He's making provision for us right now. It's easy to look at like, damn, I need this. I wish I had more of this and more of that. But don't forget to be thankful, man, for what you have, man. We got to be content. We can't be like our forefathers in the wilderness, man. You know how Yahweh, Bashimi Hawashah provided that manna. He provided things for our forefathers, and look how they acted, man. They had everything they needed, man. And when you look at the situation, when you read about that, even how the instructions that the Lord gave unto our forefathers to go and get the manna, you know, and he did that to see if they would be obedient unto him. And you had certain Jakes who were trying to gather more and trying to do other shit when the Lord told him, look, just grab this, just go and get your daily bread and that'll be enough. That's enough. But you had, Jakes going out and getting more, trying to gather more, and what did it do? It ended up spoiling. You know what I'm saying? And creating worms and all that shit. Showing you that, it was all a test of seeing that we were going to be obedient, but also to trust in the Lord, man, that the Lord will provide daily. You know what I mean? And the Lord is providing for us right now on a daily, man. And that's something that you should pray. You should thank the Lord for every morning, man, because I immediately got up this morning. It's lucky. I'm gonna grab a script. I'm gonna grab a scripture, but I immediately got up this morning, man. I guess I had a dream, man, and as soon as I woke up, I started thinking about, you know what I'm saying, being content. Like immediately, that's the first thing I thought of. And then, of course, I prayed to the Lord while I laid down, while I was still laying down. You know what I'm saying? I think I had like an hour before I had to get up. I was just sitting there, just thanking the Lord and meditating. And I said I was gonna do this lesson, man, about being content, and that's something, like I said, the Lord is providing for us right now, man. You see? So, you brothers and sisters out there, man, if you have the necessities, be thankful, because it can always be worse than it is right now. All right, so let's grab a couple of scriptures, man. Like I said, I'm gonna end it off. Um, let's go to First Timothy's, man. First Timothy's chapter 6. All right, and I'm gonna start at verse 6. It says, "But godliness with contentment is great gain. For we brought nothing into this world, and it is certain that we can carry nothing out. But this is the point. You know, the verse 6 and then verse 8, you know what I'm saying, is gonna hit. It hit hard, man. All right. It says verse 8, and having food and raiment, let us be therewith content. Right. You know, I'm gonna read this in the NLT. It says, I'm gonna start at verse 6. It says, yet true godliness with contentment is itself great wealth. After all, we brought nothing with us when we came into this world, and we can't take anything with us when we leave it. So if we have enough, listen, if we have enough food and clothes, let us be content. Right. You see? So you know what I'm saying? Whatever we got, man, you know, just we have to be content with it, man. You see the provisions that the Lord is providing for you on your daily, man. You know what I'm saying? The Lord is providing for us right now, man. Let me go to another one. Let's go to the book of Sirach. But I want to jump back here. Matter of fact, I'm gonna read this because I pulled it up in Chat GPT about that First Corinthians chapter 6 and verse 6. And I'm gonna read it. It says the phrase godliness with contentment is great gains comes from First Timothy 6 and 6, which says, but godliness with contentment is great gain. Here's what it means. All right. And it says number one, it says godliness. Godliness means living a life that honors and reflects the most high, showing reverence and obedience and moral integrity. It's not just religious behavior, but a heart that seeks to please God in all things, your thoughts, your speech, and actions. Number two, it says contentment means being satisfied with what you have, not constantly craving more money, possessions, or status. It's a peaceful acceptance of God's provision, trusting that He gives you what you truly need. Right? You see, and that's exactly what the Lord is giving us right now, what we need, man. You know what I'm saying? And that's what that was the downfall of our forefathers, man. They wasn't looking at a lot of our forefathers in the wilderness, man. They wasn't looking at what the Lord was providing exactly what they needed. You know what I'm saying? They was looking at they wanted more. They wanted what they wanted. All right. They didn't truly see that the Lord was providing for them, man, because the manna wasn't enough for them niggas, man. And when you read about the manna, Salakia, man, fucking throat. But when you read about the manna and wisdom of Solomon, man, it tells you how, you know, the manna, it was like pleasing to every man's taste. Whatever taste that man wanted it to taste like, it that's what it tasted like, man. So so what somebody liked it, a cinnamon butter biscuit, you know what I'm saying, or so, you know, honey butter or whatever you wanted it to taste like, that's what it tastes like, man. You see, how could that not be pleasing, man? Exactly what you want it to taste like, that's what it's gonna taste like, man. You know, but they wanted more than that, man. It wasn't enough. You see, and being content, like Paul said, man, is great gain. Godliness with contentment is great gain, man. You see, it's a yeah. That's the secret, man. I'm gonna get that in Philippians chapter 4 too, man. All right, it talks about Paul talked about how he learned how to be content with whatever state he was in, man. You see, and that's what you have to learn when coming into this truth. You know what I'm saying? But it says, number two, it says contentment means being satisfied with what you have, not constantly craving more money, possessions, or status. It is a peaceful acceptance of God's provision, trusting that He gives you what you truly need. And that's exactly what the Lord has given us, man, what we truly need. All right. And what are those necessities, man? Let's go to it real quick. Said I was gonna grab it. Let's go to it. This is this is what we truly need, man. Sirach chapter 29. All right, in verse 21, and it's going to be in the GNT, it says, the necessities of life are water, food, clothing, and a home where where you can have privacy. All right, and I'm gonna jump down to verse 23. It says, be happy with what you have, even if it isn't very much. And don't listen to anyone who would insult your home or in your family. You see? So the necessities that we have, man, is our daily bread, man. You have a place to stay. You know what I'm saying? You have food, you have clothes on your back, you have a means to get your daily bread. All right, a job. All right, you have transportation to get to and fro. Like I said, I don't care if it's a goddamn 1995 Dodge Neon, man. You see, the Lord provided you with that to get your daily bread and to he provide provision, man. You see, and we got to be thankful, man. Now, don't get it twisted. There's nothing wrong with, you know what I'm saying. You want to, better yourself in, in a situation, but don't let that that can lead to you. That can lead to being a distraction. You know what I'm saying, and ultimately not being thankful, not looking at what the Lord is providing for you right now. You see, because at the end of the day, when all hell breaks loose, the Lord is gonna provide, man. You got to look at the Lord, like I said earlier, man. The Lord is providing right now. You see, my servant shall eat, my servant shall drink. That's just not gonna start in Jacob's trouble, man. No, that's starting right now. You see, the Lord is providing you eating and drinking because of the Lord right now, man. You have a place to stay to where you can dwell by you. You don't have to be around. You don't have to be around your family. And if some of you brothers do live with your family, you know what I'm saying. Do live with your family. It's all good, man, because the Lord still provide. You still have a place to stay. You know what I'm saying? Until you know what I'm saying, the Lord can, until you can get your own place, man. You see, in every situation, man, we got to be thankful. You know what I'm saying? Because it can always be worse, man. You got to look at what the Lord is doing for you. That's ultimately the message that I'm trying to portray in this lesson. But let's go back. It says, I'm gonna read verse 23 again. It says, I'm gonna read 21. It says, the necessities of life are food. I mean, a water, food, clothing, and a home where you can have privacy. Privacy. Verse 23. Be happy with what you have, even if it isn't very much. All right. So you got to be happy, man. So let's go back real quick. Let me see. I'm gonna jump down to the in summary. It's going back into the chat GPT. It says in summary, godliness with contentment is great gain, means living a life devoted to God and being satisfied with what he provides, with what he provides. Well, it's like it says, with what he provides brings the truest form of wealth, spiritual peace, joy, and eternal security. All right, and that's right. So let's go to Philippians real quick. I'm gonna end it off on this. Like I said, I don't want to make it too long. Philippians chapter 4, all right, and I'm going to start at verse 11. I'm reading the NLT. It says, not that I was ever in need, for I have learned how to be content with whatever I have. You see, and that's exactly what we have to be. That's exactly what you have to, the mindset that you have to have, man. You got to be content with whatever you have, man, even if it's a little. You know what I'm saying? Be content with it and understand it, hey, and look at the blessing of the Lord. See the blessings in the small things, man. You see? It says, verse 12, it says, I know how to live on almost nothing or with everything. I have learned the secret of living in every situation, whether it is with a full stomach or an empty, with plain or little, you see? And what is ultimately that secret? All right, that Paul was talking about being content and thankful and trusting in the Lord, man. That's the secret, man. You see? It says, for I can do everything through Hamashiach who gives me strength, right? You see, and we can do anything through Yahweh Shah Mashiach, man. You see. So like I said, man, I didn't want to make this lesson too long, but we got to be more thankful, man. Even if we can, like I said, we can always look at somehow I need this and I need that, but hey, look at what the Lord providing for you right now. You know what I'm saying? Understand that's enough. That's enough, man. We good. Even right now, bills coming in is all this shit. The bills piling up, getting more higher. But somehow it always get paid. It gets paid. Who does that, man? Who's making it to where you still going? You still have your place to stay. You still have your transportation. You know what I'm saying? All light on, all that shit. You know? How about Shemal Washai is, man. So be thankful, man, and be content. With that, I want to give all praises, honor, and glory unto Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashem, Rachakodash. The honors unto the apostles of great millstone and teaching well, and as always, peace and salutations to the elect. Shalom.